Okay. Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, shehakol neh b'dorei.
Mommy.
Hi. Welcome, folks. Chassidus. We're learning the Mimer, speaking about three different levels of love, as in the Shema, love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, with all your heart, with both hearts, including the animal soul, right? It also has a heart. Its heart is naturally inclined downwards to, self-directed comforts and pleasures. But you could talk to the animal soul in such a way that it recognizes that its true comfort and pleasure is something divine. And that's what we do every day when we come and learn, right? Um, our animal soul is, is listening. Want to go back to bed? Well, but I hope it's listening right now. And there's a higher level, with all of your soul, which the first level is internalizing, right? That's the light of God that is within the world, and within you, it's internalized because it's talking to the animal soul within you, that it too wants godliness. Higher than that, higher, you know, in the end, all three are necessary, but a more profound level is um, of that we're ready to give up our lives in the love of Hashem. Uh, and of course, then live that way, meaning um, just as it's not natural, right? The most natural thing for a person is to be, and the most divine level of a person to be, to have a love for God. But it's to be. That's the way God is within the world. That's the way God's within you. Then there is that which is beyond you, as in Seviv, as God encompasses the world. So that's reflected as going beyond yourself. Well, the most that you can go beyond yourself is that you are ready to give up your life for something greater than yourself. Serious never self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice doesn't mean you have to give up your life, literally. In other words, ready for whatever it is that it takes beyond the human condition. Just as the all-encompassing light of God is beyond the human or the creation of the world. That's how it reflects, right? Beyond boundaries. Now, this kind of sacrifice of loving God with all your soul is on the level of soul level of chaya. Then there's a higher level than that. Now, so he explains the level of chaya in the soul is will. It's your will, right? As we've explained several times now, the will is the first will in Hebrew is ratzain. It comes from the ratz, to run. It's the first movement that comes out, that runs out of the soul, right? The first expression of the soul is a desire, not a desire for a reason, right? It caught your fancy, so you desire. Why? I mean, deeper reasons because of pleasure, right? So on this level of it's that your desire to sacrifice. You want to sacrifice. So there's the you there, right? So it's interesting. It explains because most of our desires that we have a reason for the desire, right? Most. Chaim. Um, so he says in the mimer, it's interesting, it's in parentheses, but nonetheless, that this desire over here is something similar to desiring because that is rational. which is fitting in with the parallel of the divine counterpart is soiviv, encompassing. Encompassing means encompassing the world, right? I mean, there is a world that's encompassing. So it's like there is a will, but it's encompassing and including your rationality, right? The reason for it, right? In other words, it's incorporating the mind. It's relative and comparable to it. I don't know how to. Anyway, I'm going to leave that now. Now we're going to the third level. Love that is b'chol ma'idecha. It's with all your very is the word ma'idecha, right? As Rashi and Chumash explains this on different couple of explanations. In other words, it's all your very. This is even deeper than even giving up your life. And this is generally the Yechida level. Yechida is the fifth level of the soul, the core essence of the soul. Right? And this is not because you want, because purely because, well, we'll see. This is because you want, because you're compelled in such a way that there's no way that you could be torn away from the oneness of God. In other words, on this level, there's no other reality. So it's like, I'm a Jew, and it's a Jew. No. The other level of, in other words, the other level would be, no, I don't want to, be disconnected, and then it's like, what's my life worth? That's her value. You gave value, right? And by the way, that's a very lofty and beautiful thing, right? But right and practical. In other words, like what? Now I'm going to reject everything that I lived for. So that's rational. That was the level of b'chol nafshecha, with all of your soul. So, wow, just had an epiphany. God is very kind to me. He gave me a thought now. Oh my gosh. Wow. I was struggling with this, learning this. I'll be very honest. Um, um, Struggling with this to try to uh, to be able to wrap my mind around this. Because this is something to understand. We're learning, so learning means you need to understand, right? It's not about a feeling. The feeling has to come after the understanding, not the other way around. Right? It's not an experience, right? Experience could be just a feeling, right? This is, learning Chassidus, so it's Chabad, and Chabad means Chachma B'Bina V'das, to understand. So, wow, I have to look up the story, but there's a story on October the 7th, and it's detailed of two brothers, two brothers who their father is a rabbi on a judicial court, I think, even if I'm not mistaken. They heard what's going on. They picked up their guns and went out, and they had families, young families. But they did it in such a way that there was no question. Our people are in danger. They need us. It wasn't a calculation like, how could the B'chol Nafshecha would be like, how could I won't be able to live with myself if I don't go and protect my people, right? That would be with all your soul, meaning ready to give up your life, right? But there was a little calculation there, like, because I won't be able to live with myself if I don't do this, which that's lofty, and I'm not denigrating it, but it's not the core essence of your soul, because there's a little bit of rationale there. It's not really your soul completely talking, the core of your soul completely talking. But when it's like, of course I'm going. They need me, right? There's no me there. I'm needed. I've got to be there. I've got to help and protect and save whoever I can save. There, no thought about like, I'm gonna make it, not gonna make it. In the end, these two boys, they're boys, young men, they saved many lives, killed many terrorists, but they have to look up the story. There's just, but they were killed. They were killed. And you might make the calculation. How could you do that? How do you throw yourself into the fire where you've got responsibility, you've got a family, you've got a wife, you've got young kids? This was coming from the core of their soul. And it's interesting. I think one of the sons was religious and one was not so, or maybe wasn't even. I have to, wow. I struggled with this to get this idea, but I think I got it. Shem gave me the thought. Um, so this idea, like, I don't want to, and the way it's explaining in the mimer is that there's no other way. I got to do this because I don't want to be separated from the unity and the oneness of God. Now, they didn't express these words, and I'm giving you the example of what this means. There's no other way. How could I be separated by those fellow Jews who need me now? There's no thought of me there, right? That's a complete bittul. I don't know if I am, when I've experienced that personally, like on such a level. It comes out in such a situation, right? I'm not certain. Actually, yeah. And this is the third level that we spoke about before. Remove yourself from evil. Do good, right? And seek out peace. As we spoke about previously, the three levels, right? So says the Rebbe. With this, then we can understand that in the second paragraph of the Shema, wow. I say a little l'chaim over here. L'chaim rocha. I hope you're appreciating this. It's half a tenth of what I'm appreciating. This we can understand why in the second paragraph of the Shema, it doesn't have b'chol ma'idecha. All it says, right? B'chol avavchem, b'chol nafshechem. With all your heart and with all your soul, it doesn't say b'chol ma'idecha. Right? It's missing in the second paragraph of the Shema. We're going to go daven. You're going to see, I mean, you know that already, right? It's missing. It's not there. Missing. It's specifically not there. Because this level of godliness has no connection to world. When you give up your life and there's a bit of a rationality to it, I lived my life for this. How could I not be ready to give my life up for this? So there's a bit of a rationality there. There's a bit of me there, right? That's in the second paragraph. But this level that we spoke about, that this is the level of godliness where not relative to the world. This is like the essence of God. The only reality is God. And this is expressed by these. I mean, and by the way, it's expressed by, so many on October the 7th, this, right? As the Alter Rebbe explains in chapter 18 and 19 in Tanya, that specifically in a time of giving up your life is then when the essence, the core essence of your soul is going to be revealed, right? So in the second paragraph, this level of godliness that there is no reality but God, right? There is not that God encompasses the world, meaning there's a reality of the world. He's beyond it, but there's a reality. Here, there's no reality. Not everybody can reach it. So that's why in the second paragraph, it doesn't mention it, right? And it's therefore what is demanded from each and every one of us is the first two levels. The first two levels of talk to your animal soul, as in our learning here, I think we're talking to our animal soul that it should also come to love God, b'chol levavcha, right? The extra base, which is um, uh, implying the heart of the animal soul too, that it should come and want to love God, and b'chol nafshecha, that that yeah, maybe there's rationality in your desire to when it would come to even ready to give up your life. But it means serious means sacrifice. You're right. Sacrifice. Even if it even till giving up your life, it doesn't mean merely just giving up your life, right? Right. But and that sacrifice has got a rationality to it. Like, a mother who gets up early in the morning, taking care of her, little children, or father that's getting up early in the morning. There's a rationality to that sacrifice, right? There's a rationality to it. It's not like pure. But that's what's demanded from us, right? And likewise, with the three things that we spoke about, remove yourself from evil and do good. Those two things are demanded from us. Vake shalom, that we should request peace, right? As we explained, and this was earlier, a few days ago that we learned that idea. Again, this idea of connecting, as it's playing over here, b'chol ma'idecha, with all your your core essence. That's not demanded from us. Is it there? It's there. Well, is there a time? Well, we see, yeah, idea of soldiers now, and those who on October 7th were there's books and books that could be written and should be written. Actually, I want to look into that. I don't know why it hasn't, of such a thing. Anyway, all right, folks. Wow, God is very kind to me to give me insight because I was struggling. I got to tell you, Baruch Hashem, and I actually thank you because only in your merit do I get that insight. Like it's not me. It's because of you I get that insight. Thank you.